Hello everyone, welcome to this full moon reading. This full moon is in Scorpio and it's on the 5th or the 6th of May depending where you are in the world. Now this is a full moon solar eclipse and it heralds a rebirth. It heralds us looking at ourselves differently, looking at things differently. And Scorpio invites us to deep dive. Things will come up that are going to challenge you on a very deep level. But when things come up, we can heal them. So it also brings a lot of healing. We're in Taurus season as well. So Taurus is bringing that stability. It also encourages us to ground ourselves. So even though we're doing this deep dive and we're doing this really profound healing, there's also this sense that we are being carried and supported through it. There's no more hiding aspects of ourselves that we don't like or that we deem are bad. There is so much to this full moon. There is so much to the month of May that I do recommend, if you're interested, to research a bit. Go to astrology YouTube channels or blogs and really read up on it, listen up on it, because there are so many energies at play here. And I do believe that the more you understand those energies, the more you'll be able to adapt, the more you'll be able to work with them. And I feel for those that do work with the energies of May, May is going to be a really transformative month. So I do really encourage you to read up or to have a look at, listen to YouTubes that do talk about this full moon eclipse, or a lunar eclipse, it's a lunar eclipse, and also the energies in the month of May. Let's get started. Okay everyone, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3 and pole number 4. For pole number 1 we have the aventurine moon. For pole number 2 we have the amethyst moon. For pole number 3 we have the picture jasper moon, and for pole number 4 we have the black obsidian. So I do apologize, it's not very visible on this dark table, but I am house sitting, as those of you that follow me know. For those that are new, welcome to my channel. I hope that you find messages and insights that help you on your journey. That is why I do this. I want to help, I want to reach out, I want to offer guidance, and help you tap into your own inner wisdom that we forget is there, but we all have it. So welcome my friends. If you're returning, thank you so much. Thank you. Your patronage, your loyalty, thank you Spirit, that's the word I was looking for, really helps me, and it really, your kind comments really help me do this, really help me carry on. And for those that are new, thank you for finding me, and I hope that you do stay. Much love, light, and blessings to you all. Hello, pole number 1. Welcome, welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. Now, remember, this is a 4-week forecast, so it's from full moon to full moon. So we have oracle messages, we have the overall energy and how it filters through the reading. We have the 4-week breakdown with the tarot. Now I'm just going to set this out, and then I'm not used to such a dark table. It feels very dark, but Spirit is telling me for this full moon in Scorpio, the darkness is very befitting. I guess it does make the cards pop a little bit. I'm just going to see if I can get that to focus just a little bit more. I think that's better. I think that's better, my friends. I hope you can see that. So the overall energy is prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus, which is interesting actually, because the new moon is in Taurus this month, so that's towards the end of the month. I do apologize, I think it's like the 21st, the 20th, something like that. And then the way it permeates through the reading to the other overall energy is a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So that's very, very interesting energy and really heartfelt. I feel really grounded. I feel really good in your reading, pole number 1. It just, there's a level, because if you listen to the introduction, this Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse is really asking us to deep dive, and I feel, pole number 1, you probably already have been doing that. So there's a level, a Spirit's guiding me to say there's a level of comfort or comfortableness in the discomfort, almost like you're a little bit used to it, pole number 1. We have big changes, endings, and exciting beginnings. And look at these wings. We have new ideas, golden pathways. We have the Star, the World, the 7 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups. I've got like tingles all over. Like, this energy is beautiful. This is the type of energy and readings that we love to do. You know, these are the type of messages that we love to bring to people. And I feel, pole number 1, you know, just quickly looking at the cards, but also channeling, it's well deserved, and it's not an entitlement. It's not, you deserve this because, you know, life's been so difficult, so now you get the good bits. It's not like that at all, pole number 1. It's, you deserve this because you've been doing the work. It's like, when things get tough, we can bury our head in the sand, or we can say to ourselves, okay, right, I've got to walk through this. You know, I can't stay where I am. Whenever, for myself and the path of learning that I have been on, has really been guiding me to see, and to not just to see and know, but to actually experience life throws us these curveballs. Now, we can stay in one spot and be kind of buried by it, held back by it, or we can pick up the hand that we've been dealt and move forward. If you've been following me for a while, pole number one, you know one of my most, I loathe it. I loathe it so much. One of my most hated sayings is, you've made your bed and now you sleep in it. Now you have to sleep in it. You've made your bed, now sleep in it. And I just think, hell no. Why? No, get out of bed. Strip it, make it again. Make it somewhere else. Make it with different sheets or different materials, or do it again. Our spiritual journey is not about taking what is and being stuck with it. Acceptance doesn't mean that you accept where you are and you stay where you are. Acceptance and the gaining of wisdom through experience is being able to say, okay, well, my choices have brought me to where I am today. I don't like where I am today. So what can I do to change it? Is it a mindset? Is it an action? Is it an understanding? What has brought me to this space? That's the lesson. That's where the wisdom is. And then, if you don't like where you are, you need to ask yourself, okay, what will get me out of here? And then take those steps. And I feel Spirit has called me to say all this before we've even looked at the cards, because I feel that Spirit really wants you to understand, pole number one, that it's not just lucky breaks. It's not just luck. I feel like there's going to be synchronicities in your life. I feel like there's going to be choices, and the Seven of Cups with the Six of Cups directly after it, I feel there's going to be choices that are really heart, like that really warms your heart, that is really in alignment with, you know, your authentic self, with what you deeply, deeply desire. So we start the reading with prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. I'm really drawn to this green because this full moon is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the murky waters. The energy of Scorpio is deep, the deep, deep waters. And it calls us to go deep. It calls us to look at aspects of ourselves that have been hidden or we have hidden. And I love this card in your reading because we are actually in the Taurus season, and it promises this support. It's almost like you're deep diving, but you're also standing on solid ground. So I feel, pole number one, even more so for you because you've got this Taurus card. I feel that these energies you're just going to be grounded through them. You're going to be able to see through the murkiness. You're going to be able to, like, you know, when we get really emotional, we tend to not be in a place of great logic or in a place of great being able to see different perspectives. We kind of get lost in our emotions. And I feel that's not going to happen for you, pole number one, because I feel that there's this sense that your logical mind, your feet are planted firmly on the ground. So when you deep dive, and I believe you've been deep diving for a while, you don't get swamped by it. You don't get pulled down by it. You can see it for what it is, an experience that needs to be moved through, energy that needs to be moved through, energy and aspects of yourself that you need to see. And that's your overall energy. And it permeates through. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. And I really feel for you, pole number one, that this romantic cycle, I find it's the love of self primarily. And I feel that that's why your life is changing. And I feel, pole number one, for you, it's really changing in quite a big way. And this romantic cycle is one with finding balance again, finding love in what you do and for yourself. And often when we're in a place like that, where we are balanced, we have reconnected with all aspects of ourselves, so we are whole. If we are not in a romantic relationship, it's when one generally comes knocking. And if we are in a committed partnership or relationship or marriage, it tends to take a new turn. It tends to become stronger. And if you're not looking for love, then this is all about you, pole number one. This is all about falling in love with yourself again, falling in love with what you do again, falling in love with your life again. And I love the overall energy is Taurus and Libra, so grounded and balanced. And for this full moon, I do feel the more grounded and balanced you can be. I just feel the full moon has so much to bring us if we don't get swamped by it. If we can see what it's trying to show us objectively. And my friends, that's not always easy. Not always easy. So I'm going to go to the Oracle cards now, and then we'll finish with the Tarot. But, oh, this card, I really want it. I'm going to just try and focus that again, because I really want... Oh, I think that's better, isn't it? Big changes, endings, and exciting beginnings. And there's affirmations at the bottom of these cards, which I really like. Life is full of unplanned wonder. I'm ready for something new. Now, I think this affirmation is perfect. So I'm really going to try and hold that steady. If you can take a snapshot or quickly write it down, I'll hold the card up while I talk about it so you can do that. But if you can take a snapshot of it, you've got the image as well, because I think that is so beautiful. Cats are curious. There's this curiosity for life in them. even, you know, they say cat has 9 lives. So even when they've been burnt before, even when they've been hurt and things haven't turned out their way, their curiosity doesn't leave them. It's like they know those experiences makes them wiser. It'll be like, okay, then I know not to climb that pole anymore because there's no way down. I'll climb this tree instead. You know, it's almost like that. And they never lose their independent streak and that needing to go and discover and look, and what is that? What is that? I'm curious. I've got to go and sniff it. I've got to go and say hello to it. And it's this very cat energy with the wings. And I really feel the more curious you can be about what's around the corner. And pole number 1, a spirit is telling me when you don't know what's around the corner, when your future isn't all mapped out, because I really believe for your pole number 1, it isn't. Though some of you may have felt like it was getting mapped out. Like I feel some of you did feel like you had a plan. I feel like there'll be a sense of maybe letting go of that because there'll be tweaks and new turns. Life is full of unplanned wonder. I'm ready for something new. The new is going to transform you because I'm very drawn to the butterfly on this card. And with the star and the world in the first 2 weeks, I really feel this healing just opens doors, even if those doors are just in your mind, pole number 1. Because sometimes if our mind is closed, or if our mind doesn't see, it doesn't really matter what comes our way, we won't see it. It's exciting. And I love how you've got the 6 of Cups in this reading as well, because it's childlike energy. And I feel that, you know, children are curious as well. You know, they get themselves into all sorts of interesting predicaments. And I use the word interesting loosely. But they do. We did as children. Because it's that curiosity, it's that, well, I don't know if I can do it or not do it, so I'm going to give it a go. And we become too safe as we get older. We like the predictable. We analyze the odds before we take a step. And yes, that comes with gaining wisdom. But it also comes from learnt behaviour and learnt blocks. And that's what we don't want to embrace. We don't want that learned behaviour and past experiences to colour our future and to stop us from being curious and having a look what's around the corner. This card is beautiful. New ideas, golden pathways. I am a creator. Creation flows through me. We all are creators. And I love the cat in this image as well. And it looks like it's the cat that's going to take the pathway. You know, it's very interesting. This card kind of makes me think of the moon card in tarot a little bit. You know, you've got the pathway and it's almost like this is your 2 pillars, like this is your gateway. And I don't know if it will focus too well, but that's a crab there. And I feel that, you know, that's the crab on its journey. That's the the crab or the lobster in the moon card coming out of the water, out of its comfort zone, to head to something new. And I really feel with this card pole number 1, the more I'm being drawn to say colourful your new choices might be, the new path might be, the more you know you're on the right path. And I was asking Spirit, how will I explain colourful? And I've been told I don't need to. So the more colourful the choices, the pathway in front of you, the more aligned you are. Now, colourful will mean something different to all of you, and that's how Spirit wants me to leave it, what it means to you. And I just feel there is such a sense of freedom on your new path pole number 1. A real sense of breathing out, because it's really difficult when we're doing the deep dive and we're doing the internal work to move forward in leaps and bounds in the world. And it's difficult to slow down enough to give yourself the time to go through that. And I feel pole number 1, you've really been doing that. And all of you are on different paths. This is just a general reading. So all of you have been doing that more or less, but to a very substantial level. And that's why at this full moon, it's like a door's opening and you're getting to move forward. And I love how these cards follow each other. You've got big changes, endings, and exciting beginnings. And then you've got the new ideas, golden pathway. So things are going to flow beautifully. There's going to be the endings. And I think this big change is this realigning with you, re-falling in love with yourself, just being in an energy that enables you to feel so open. And that will enable you to go, you know what? I don't like where I am now. This is not what I want for myself. And you'll be able to make those endings. You'll be able to make those changes. And it brings exciting beginnings, because you're going to have these new ideas. The minute we make space in our life, new things can come in. Newness can come in. New ideas, new pathways, new people. And that is so, so important. So important. If we don't make space, then the new things that are trying to come in, then they're almost like having to push what we have in our life out. It causes friction and it causes more pain. Now we've got the 4-week breakdown. So we've got the full moon, we've got the waning moon, the new moon, and the waxing moon. So I love this 7 of Cups for the new moon at the end of the month, because your new moon is all about setting your intentions, making your wish list. What do you want now for yourself? This is at the new moon. And look at that, you've got the 7 of Cups. What do you want to pick now? What do you now want to see in your life? And before you get there, you have the Star. And this to me, again, is that healing and that falling in love with yourself again. And This is flaws and all. She's naked because she's not hiding anything. There are no masks. There's no pretending. You see yourself as you are, and you've made peace with that. You accept the shadow side as much as your light side. Both have a part to play in this lifetime. So we can't push away an aspect of ourselves and walk through life whole. The minute we push an aspect of ourselves away and we don't like that, then we are fragmented. We're not whole. And therefore we don't meet challenges and opportunities in life as a whole being. And that's really, really important. And Spirit's telling me, because I feel like, I need to explain that, but Spirit's telling me that the journey that you've been on, pole number 1, you understand that. And I feel that you understand that on a very deep level. So there's this sense of, I feel shining your inner light. Your inner light is like your star. Yes, you're made out of blood and bone and earthly matter, but you're also made of stardust, of the universe. And there's this combining the two. I feel like you're really feeling in awe of yourself in a very beautiful, high vibrating way. Now this star is at this full moon, and this sets you on your path, because the love that you feel for yourself permeates through everything you do, everything you do. And look, the second week, you've got the World. And the World is the last of the major arcana cards. And this is closing off a cycle. Now, with both the star and the World card, they're both major arcana. So Spirit is guiding you, the universe is guiding you through this. You are not doing this alone. I feel like you don't have to find the endings. You'll see them. Spirit will show you. You'll see things so clearly. And I feel that you may not have been seeing things very clearly for a long time. And now you do. And I feel like it's been coming in slowly. And this is the big changes. This is the endings. And it brings an exciting new beginning, because the card that follows this on the cycle of the major arcana is the Fool. The leap into the new beginning. The new idea and the new golden path. And then, like I was saying, then we get to the new moon. And it's like, with your newfound love and understanding of yourself, this newfound wisdom that comes with that, the space that you've created not only in your world but in your heart. What would you like for yourself now? What do you want this golden pathway to look like? What do you want to see more of in your future? What do you want to attract to you? And the 7 of Cups in your reading is really telling me that you're going to have so many options that fulfill you on a very deep level, that are meaningful to you. And then we finish this 4-week cycle on the 6 of Cups, and this is beautiful, gentle, nurturing energy. And it feels so right. And that tells me that these intentions, these wishes, these dreams that you're not manifesting them yet, but you're bringing them into your consciousness, are really beautiful, and they are fulfilling. Oh my gosh, pole number 1, it's this new path is fulfilling. And that can be in any way. It can be in love, it can be finding your purpose and being able to move forward on it, finding your soul tribe, realigning with people that may have left your life, but because you parted, you went in different directions, and now they're back because you've realigned. So it can bring things from your past back into your life, and it can also bring you the new, that brings you the comfort and the nurturing and the love and the support. That it doesn't matter whether you had all that as children or not, but if you think of children in the how do I explain this, Spirit, please? The ideal sense of how they're nurtured and supported and cared for. That's the energy of the ideal. Of course, not all of us had a childhood like that. So this is not linked to your childhood and the way that it was. This is the ideal. This is the energy of a childhood that is supported. That's how it's going to feel, pole number 1. It's going to feel supported, nurturing, loving. And it gives you, when you come from that kind of network, you do have wings to take leaps and bounds and to take chances because you're supported. This is a phenomenal reading, pole number 1, and because it's a 4-week reading, I do recommend that you come back to it. I do recommend that you come back to it, listen to it as often as you need it. If you're starting to feel a bit shaky, come back to it, because I really feel that the message in here that Spirit wants to bring you is one of real support and love. And it says a golden pathway, but I want to say a golden future. And it's not to say that it's just there won't be any problems or challenges in it, but I feel that you're going to be so strong, and strong in a sense of not rigid, but you're just going to be able to go with what comes. You're just going to have this understanding and this openness that just enables you to just move through things. And when we can do that, there's a lot less pain, discomfort in the lessons that we go through. Oh, my darling pole number 1, I'm going to leave you with those messages. Love, light, blessings, my friends. Thank you again so much for joining me. Take good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful 4 weeks. Have a wonderful full moon, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome to this full moon reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. So we have 2 oracle cards just for additional information. We have the overall energy that will permeate to this next overall energy. So the start of the reading and then how it flows through. We have the 4-week breakdown with the tarot cards. Now it's very interesting because I haven't been drawn to say this before, but Spirit's just prompting me to explain if, I don't know if some of you went, oh, but that 8 of Wands was upside down. I don't read reversals because I'm not a traditional tarot card reader. So you may have picked that up if you've been following me for a while. I read the cards slightly differently to the mainstream tarot readers, and I don't read reversals because I channel. So Spirit will give me the energy of the card. So the orientation of the card, how it presents itself, it doesn't have any meaning to me. The card can fall upright and I can read it in its detrimental sense, so as if it was reversed. Spirit guides me in that sense, and it's the energies I pick up from the cards and from my channeling that guide me as to the meaning behind the card. So I think maybe some of you needed to hear that, but that's the reason why I don't read reversals. So let's have a look at your card. So the overall energy we have, you are good enough. The full moon in Virgo, beautiful grounding energy that feels really wonderful. We have balance, spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So this is actually an interesting blend because we've got the full moon in Scorpio, which is a water sign, and then we have more water with this full moon in Pisces. But then we have this very grounded energy with the full moon in Virgo. So that's kind of interesting energies. Then we have the oracle cards. It says reflection and inner work first, and then we have small trials, annoyances. We have the strength card, the King of Wands, the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. So this strength card is Leo energy, and then we have 3 wands. So all the tarot is in the element of fire. So I feel there's going to be a sense of, so the message that I'm getting, pole number 2, is you've got a good mix of energy in this 4-week breakdown. So this is full moon to the next full moon. So this is a 4-week reading. So you've got this, you don't have any air, but that's all right. You've got the energies could balance out, but the energies also could inflame you. Okay, so we've got a little bit of grounded energy. We've got more water because we've got Pisces and this is a Scorpio full moon. So we've got more water and then we've got more fire again. So it's almost doubling. We've got 1 doubled to 2 waters. So we've got 1 earth to 2 waters to 4 fires. And I feel like I'm so drawn to that. And I feel that Spirit, like there's a very deep message in that. And just with, you've got reflection and inner work first, and you've got small trials, annoyances. And I feel all this fire. There's the possibility in this 4-week period from this full moon to the next full moon for you to overreact, for you to get annoyed more than is necessary, to feel really frustrated, to feel like you want to go, yet your feet are probably stuck in mud a little bit. So there's a need to pull back, pole number 2, and I cannot stress that enough. If this is as far into the message, I know that not all the readings are listened to all the way through. Please, pole number 2, just let me get this final message out for you. Take a deep breath before you take action. Take a deep breath before you speak. I almost want to say take a deep breath before you think, because the energies this month have the potential to be really good. These 4 cards are beautiful, but they can also signify, with all this fire, that you are going to want to charge ahead. And with the Pisces and the Scorpio energy, especially with the Scorpio energy, this full moon in Scorpio, it's going to feel like you're wading through mud. Now the universe is putting you in that position, because even though this is not an overall energy, I feel this is the most important card in the whole reading. Reflection and inner work first. My past supports my presence. And this card says it all for me, pole number 2. This card shows me that there is healing to be done. There's inner work to be done. There is past hurts, past nuisances, past lessons that haven't quite been dealt with. Now this full moon in Scorpio is asking us to dig deep. What we have buried, what we have hidden, what we don't want to look at, this lunar eclipse is going to bring out. And eclipses intensify everything. So if you fight it, it's a painful experience. It's a difficult experience. But if you don't fight it, if you go, show me, and you ask to be put in a place, in a mindset, to understand, they have such a opening, releasing, feel good. I really want to say feel good, because gosh, when you see something that is from your past but in a new light, in a new way, and that enables you to heal it and move on from it, that transforms us, and that makes us lighter. And that's what letting go is. Letting go is not suppressing. Letting go is not hiding. It's just because you have buried it so deep inside yourself that you almost don't even remember it. You never talk about it. That's not a sign that you've healed it. That's a sign that you've suppressed it, but it's still there and you carry that with you. And there is so much potential here for cleansing. I love this message for you, pole number 2. You are good enough. There is nothing in you that doesn't fulfill a purpose in this lifetime for you. And that is not an easy thing for starters to see and to fully acknowledge and understand. Because there's aspects of ourselves where we think, well, that doesn't help me, and that only causes me grief, it only gives me problems, it makes my life hard. But it's an aspect of you, and there's a reason for it being there. And sometimes we're not privy to that reason. Sometimes that's not even something we need to know. But there's a sense here of embracing all aspects of yourself. There's a sense here with all this green, this earth energy of Virgo. There's a sense here of healing yourself by bringing yourself back together. All aspects of yourself make you whole. And as you are completely and utterly you, pole number 2, you're good enough, you're worth it, you're fabulous. And you are nothing like the next person next to you. You're nothing like the people in your family, in your work, in your surroundings. You are you and unique. And it's that uniqueness that needs to shine, pole number 2. It's that uniqueness that you want to do the inner work for. My past supports my present. Does it? Our past shows us the way. It shows us what we want and what we don't want. Are you sitting where you don't want to be sitting for fear that the next seat might be more uncomfortable? But your experiences now are showing you that you don't like where you're sitting. So the only way that you have the potential of finding a seat that you like is by moving, by searching, never staying where you are. Now this is figuratively speaking, but also it does apply to our physical world and actually moving away from relationships, people, places, jobs. But this is also, and probably more so in your reading, pole number 2, this is more so about internal frustrations, internal dialogues, thoughts. The overall energy at the other side of the reading is balance, spirituality and practicality. So do you find yourself more in one space than the other? Pole number 2, do you find yourself very practical at work and your spirituality waits for your free time where you can really embrace who you are? This is not easy to do for most of us. It's not easy to be our spiritual self in practical mundane things. And it's not easy to bring the practicality into our spirituality when we have jobs where we work in the spiritual field and we ask for, we want to make it our living, and we need payment, we need money to live in this world. That's the practicality of this world. So can you see how they work together? And I feel that's what you're being guided towards. And that's not to say that all of you are going to embrace a spiritual job, but it can be bringing that spirituality into your current job. And I feel these energies in the month of May, especially, really guiding us towards who are you now and what do you want now. We have small trials, annoyances, and the affirmation is, I see every situation with love. And what does that mean? it means that everything is here to guide you. These small annoyances, and they can be so troublesome. They, you know, one little thing after another just piles up, and it really gets us fired up. It gets us annoyed, and it gets us sometimes digging our heels in, being stubborn, or it will make us lash out. And there's a sense here in your reading, pole number 2, that Spirit wants you to look at these annoyances as channel markers, if you like. I'm just seeing channel markers, you know, in a river telling you which way to go. You know, you go through the channel markers on your boat. And they offer guidance. They don't let you get too close to the shore where you could hit the sandbanks or rocks. It's a safety thing, isn't it? And I feel that these annoyances, pole number 2, if you are open to it, these annoyances will, they're like channel markers. They'll keep you on your path, or they'll take you off your path if you're not on a path that is aligned with yourself. Because remember, you're doing a lot of inner work. So where are you now being guided? The inner work first. It says first. You've got to deep dive first, which is perfect, because the first week is the full moon, and the full moon in Scorpio is the most magical time to deep dive, because the full moon illuminates, and Scorpio loves a deep dive. So it's like you're going down into the hidden aspects of yourself, but it's a full moon. So there is clarity there if you are willing to look. And so these small trials, these annoyances, they're actually, you're going to, if you can allow yourself, you bounce off it and go, oh, okay, that's, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. Now I'll pivot because I don't want that. Not I'm going to push that obstacle over and I'm going to forge ahead anyway. No, tweak things, change your perspective, change your mind. And I think that's going to be a big thing. You've got no air sign here. You don't have any swords. So I feel that changing your mind is actually going to be difficult for you, pole number 2. The fire signs generally will forge ahead. They will generally push past obstacles. But I feel in your reading, the obstacles are there to realign you, so that you don't want to push past them. You want to rethink. And that's how you look at every situation with love. You look at it and go, oh, okay, then what are you trying to show me? And I feel, I really feel, pole number 2, that those of you that can move slowly over these 4 weeks, those of you that can stay open and not allow yourself to get too regimented, and don't be too blinkered, don't think this is my way or the highway. I think the more you can channel change, fluidity, I think these 4 weeks are going to be really beautiful for you. But I must say, pole number 2, for you, those of you that get too rigid, and I think if you are a fire sign and you're listening to this, a fire sign or even an earth sign, where you can be a little bit more regimented, a little bit more, well, the earth signs tend to want to stick more to the true and tried path, and the fire signs just want to blaze forward and push things over. I think the more you can come out of that energy, the more this month is really going to move you forward, and is going to be much easier. The more you dig your heels in, the more you fight, the more troublesome these 4 weeks will be. So these readings, I always say they're like a heads up. You'll see the energies. And if you can remember it, like, come back often if you need to. Every time you get frustrated, that night, listen to this reading again. Because then you'll get to the point where you won't get fired up. You won't dig your heels in. You won't get stubborn. You'll actually just go, oh, this nearly caught me out. But I understand the energy. So I've just got to go with it. I've got to tweak it. I've got to allow myself to be moved in a different direction. This is not a time to be pushing forward. Now, at this full moon, you've got the Strength card. And I just feel pure and simply this is Spirit saying you'll need the strength to harness this energy that's in front of you. And what I mean by harness is I don't mean hold on to it. I don't mean try and conquer it. That's a very fire energy. I mean work with it. The strength to say, okay, I'm being shown that this direction, what I'm doing now, I'm headbutting. I'm just hitting myself against a brick wall. I need to change direction because there's a door in this brick wall. So rather than keep headbutting the brick wall until it cracks and I make a way through, I need to tweak my path and find the door. And there is a door. And pole number 2, there's a door that you're going to love. This 3 of wands is your ships coming in. So this is not giving up on your dreams. This is not giving up on your goals. This is not change in that sense. The only thing that has to change here, I feel, is you, pole number 2. It's not like you're being set on a new path that completely changes. I mean, I feel like it's more likely to change just you, but that does often have a knock-on effect into our world. But I feel here is like you can make a path for yourself, or you can follow the path that Spirit's put out for you. Now, you make a path for yourself that's going through brick walls. Follow the path that Spirit is making for you, and that is constantly having to course correct. If you sail a yacht, you've got your sails up, motor switched off, you have to tack. You zigzag. There is no straight course because you've got to catch the wind or you don't move. And that's your journey. Pole number 2, if you can just imagine that, if you can just conjure up that image and keep it with you this month, just think, I'm just tacking, I'm just course correcting as I go. I'm just tacking into the wind. It will make your life, it will make these 4 weeks so much more smooth. And I feel the 8 of Wands is here. That's fast moving energy. I think it speeds everything up. But it takes strength to not want to fight with what's in front of you, to go, okay, this is a course correct. So I'm going to do that. It takes strength. And because this is a major arcana, this is spirit guiding you. So don't think that that obstacle is there because you have to fight it or push it over. The obstacle's there because that's the way spirit is going to guide you. Now, in the waning moon, so the week after the full moon, you've got the King of Wands. Now, I love that this is the King of Wands because the King of Wands harnesses that fire energy and he gives back with it. He harnesses his passion, and fire is a fuel. Fire consumes and burns through things. Fire is fast moving. And it's this, fire will have the ability to burn and to destroy. But fire also has the ability, like I'm in Australia, fire regenerates our forests. There are so many native Australian trees and plants that if a fire doesn't go through, their seed pods don't open. So then the seeds in the pods cannot germinate. So fire has that destructive element, but also that regenerative energy. And I feel that the fire here, it's up to you, pole number 2, as to how you use it. Do you use it to fuel you, to give you the courage to tack and to move forward and to course correct as you navigate the channels, the annoyances? There's wisdom in this fire. There's wisdom in this king. He knows how to use that fire in the outside world to give back. The kings for me are very much a giving back energy. So there's this huge potential in these 4 weeks, pole number 2, in this course correction. Not only are you moving yourself forward, not only are you seeing things differently, but you've got the potential to show others. You've got the potential to help others. I almost get this feeling of people will see, people will be watching, and they're going to be learning from you. They're going to be seeing like, oh wow, that would have really annoyed me and I would have reacted like this. And they're kind of taking it in their stride. And then suddenly the annoyance didn't turn into a big problem. The annoyance was there and it didn't get buried. It just got lifted up and put in its rightful place. Okay. Right, this has happened. I need to rethink my plan. I need to reevaluate. And all the re words is perfect because we're in a Mercury retrograde. It's communication, and I find Mercury is very much communication and interaction with others, and it is all electronic stuff as well. But I link it to how we think and that kind of thing. So this is kind of like reevaluating at every step, at every annoyance, reevaluate. People be watching, and you do not underestimate how you deal with these annoyances, the knock-on effect that will have for others around you. And I feel that's why this 8 of Wands is here. So this 8 of Wands can be read 2 ways. How you deal with these annoyances will escalate them rapidly if you fight them. If you add fuel to that little flame, it'll burn bright. It'll ignite. If you take it calmly and you go, right, this is just a course correction, it will move you forward rapidly. So The annoyances can escalate rapidly into real problems, or the annoyances treated with wisdom, with an open mind and an open heart, as lessons, as guidance from spirit, from the universe, they will move you forward so rapidly. And where are they moving you? To your Three of Wands. To a place where you can see all your options. Your ships are coming in. There's more than one. Which one do you want? Which one are you going to get on? And I feel these annoyances, I feel they're actually there to help you see more clearly what you actually do want. To actually help you understand, oh wow, yeah, I didn't have all that quite right. That's not how I pictured it, but this is so much better. So when your ships do come in, I feel you'll know what to do. There's going to be so much wisdom, pole number 2, that's gained in this journey. So much wisdom. Now, I forgot to mention this 8 of Wands is at the new moon. The new moon in Taurus. It's going to bring things in. And I feel that it's, you know, the new moon is when we set our intentions to manifest our new dreams and goals. And I'm really feeling this 8 of Wands is what you'll be manifesting depending on how in the first 2 weeks you take on this energy. Calmly, grounded. Do meditations, do deep breathing. Slow yourself down. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my beautiful pole number 2. Love, light and blessings to you. Take good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful full moon. Go slow. Take your time. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Welcome, welcome, my friends, to your full moon reading. So we've got 2 oracle cards for additional information, additional guidance into this reading. We have the Moonology cards as your overall energy. And then we have the 4-week breakdown of how the energies are likely to play out. Okay. So overall energy, we have what do you need to release, the waning moon. And we have at the other end also an overall energy. We have don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. We have a chance to practice forgiveness, and we have good things to come. We have the 4-week breakdown. So we have the full moon, which is the 9 of Swords. We have the waning moon, is the 7 of Wands. We have the new moon, the Hanged Man, or the week of the new moon, the Hanged Man. And we have the waxing moon, which is the Death card. Okay. Now feel this card is so befitting this full moon in Scorpio, because it's asking us to dig deep. It's asking us to look at things that were hidden. And I feel in your reading, the releasing will be a lot to do with judgment. Judgment on yourself and judgment on others. There's a real sense here that you're going to deep dive and you're going to see aspects of yourself that you possibly don't really like. You're going to see, because we're all deep diving, you're going to see aspects of others that you probably don't like either. But there's this sense of release your judgment on those. Release your prejudice on them. That's a good word, Spirit. Thank you. I don't feel that you're going to be doing a lot of releasing in your outer world. I feel it will have a knock-on effect further down the track. But I feel that these 4 weeks, this month of May, is perfect for it. And it's calling all of us, but especially I feel for you, pole number 3, it's calling you to be at peace with aspects of yourself that you don't like. There's this sense that, I'll keep getting the word peace, making peace with how you've been wronged or how you've wronged others, because that's often linked with our shadow side or aspects of ourselves that we don't like, so we bury. But there's this sense now that it's going to come up for you, pole number 3, so that you can finally look at it and understand that, yes, the person that you are today wouldn't have made those same choices. But the person that you were in the past had the knowledge that you had back then, not the knowledge that you have now. So it's very easy. This is why it's so easy to judge others. Because if we're a little bit ahead of them in our path, we wouldn't do what they do. But that is also incredibly unfair, because they don't have our level of wisdom. They haven't been through maybe what you've been through, and therefore their wisdom is maybe placed somewhere else. They haven't learnt that yet. That might be their lesson this lifetime, whereas maybe that lesson you had lifetimes ago. They will probably judge you and think, how could you do that? Because they learnt that previous lifetimes ago, whereas that could be your lesson of this lifetime. So judgment, it shows us, this is where nothing is useless, nothing is bad, because yes, to judge others leaves us in a position of being closed off. When we judge others, we close ourselves off. When we are in an energy of non-judgment, that's when we're open. We're open to understand that we can't see every perspective. It opens us up to try to see a different perspective. And there's this sense that releasing your judgment on yourself and on others moves you forward and moves you to a higher vibrating energy. And I feel that it's in those higher vibrating energies that we gain more and more perspective. We gain new insight. We can see what could have driven that person, or we can see in the most simple way how we don't know that person's life experience, and therefore We don't know what could have driven them to do what they do. So this reading pole number 3 is really based in judgment of self and of others. And I feel it's releasing that. I feel there's this sense of freedom that comes to you. I feel that you have no knowledge of. You have never felt this free before. And you realize the freedom that you thought you always had was always restricted. So you're releasing narrow perspectives and judgment. I can't explain to you this feeling of openness and connectiveness that I feel in your reading pole number 3. There's this sense of forgiving yourself and forgiving others, which the full moon is the most magical time to do that. The full moon is all about releasing, letting go, forgiveness, gratitude. So this is the perfect time for that. And the other overall energy at the end of the reading, at the other end of the reading, is don't let pride get in your way. And I feel that that's over this side because your releasing could be hindered by your pride. It could be a feeling of, I'm not going to forgive, because if I forgive, it's like I'm saying whatever happened, whatever I did or whatever somebody else did, it's okay. We punish ourselves so much for our wrongdoings, our mistakes, for the way we see we've hurt people. And we punish ourselves for that again and again and again and again. And it's almost to kind of say, well, look, I hurt them, but, well, my life hasn't been easy now, so, I've been punished and I'm not going to make my life better because I don't deserve it. And pole number 3, you're going to see how untrue that is. You're going to see how worthy of love you are and how worthy of love others are. A chance to practice forgiveness. I am love, and I forgive those who have hurt me. And this is not only others, but this is yourself. You are worthy of love, my friends. We all have aspects of ourselves. We all have past situations where we have hurt others. All of us. There is not one person on this planet that hasn't at some stage. Now, I really believe that, before our soul embodies a human form, there's certain things, experiences that it wants to fulfill. And I've always heard that those who hurt you most in this lifetime loved you the most in another, because they have agreed in this lifetime to hurt you, to possibly gain that ill karma themselves. in order for your soul to be able to experience what it needed to experience, for you in order to grow and to experience and heal an aspect of yourself or understand an aspect of yourself. Now that doesn't make it all okay, and that doesn't make it easy. But there is something in that that has a level of healing in it. Holding on to grudges, holding on to resentment, holding on to past pain. All our interactions are tainted with that. And so it permeates through our life, through our words, through our actions. And that's what you're healing, pole number 3. Now for some of you, this can go way back. Some of you can be past lives. And it's Spirit's guiding me to say to you, don't even need to bring it up. You don't even need, don't relive it. If you feel that you have resentment in you and you don't even know why exactly, or you have pain in you and you're not quite sure what it's attached to, this deep dive doesn't actually ask you to go in and find the reason. It asks you to find the pain, that uncomfortableness, and to show it love, to show it compassion, to show it kindness, which enables you to move on from it. Because we don't want to stay in that energy. We don't want to stay in energy that hurts us or that we don't feel comfortable in. The whole reason why we feel uncomfortable is to show us, it's to guide us as to, okay, what do we want now? Why am I uncomfortable? And not even what's causing the uncomfortableness. It's not finding the cause, but asking yourself, okay, I feel this pain, why? Because generally we're holding on to something from the past that we haven't let go of, we haven't blessed and forgiven, or we're staying stuck in a situation that doesn't serve us. But we have the possibility to get up and move out of it, always. Is it easy? No, it takes time and it takes patience and it takes love, but we can always move out of things. Good things to come. I give thanks for all I have and all that awaits. Pole number 3. This reading, I know it's the 4-week breakdown, but I feel that this reading really is talking about this full moon. This full moon is one of great healing, because the full moon is all about forgiveness and it's all about gratitude and it's all about releasing. And the 2 oracle cards that you have are about forgiveness and I give thanks for all that I have. It's about gratitude. And forgiveness and gratitude move us forward faster and with more ease than anything else. So I really, this really calls me to, I'm not sure if you've heard of the Ho'oponopono prayer. That's the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. And that is I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you just keep repeating it over and over again. And I discovered it a few years ago, and it literally, it changed so many things for me, because the energy that comes with that really amazed me. The sense of peace that comes over you. And I just use it whenever I feel hurt, or I think, oh, I didn't deal with that situation very well, or I'm angry or resentful at somebody, and it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And there are times you might get choked on one of those phrases. Generally it's the I love you one for me. But don't force it, just say it gently. And I just picture the person, or I picture me, or I picture the circumstance, and there is such a healing energy that comes with that. Please do try it, my friends, because I think you'll be surprised if you practice it often enough, how the energy around the person, you, the situation, it softens. That's probably the best way I can explain it. So we've got in the first, so at the full moon, it's really this letting go. I really feel that this Nine of Swords is those emotions, those situations in your life that have kept you trapped. And you're not physically trapped, and I know that you know that, pole number 3, but there's a sense here that they're blocking you. They really are. They're blocking you from moving on to so much more. And this is why you're going through this, pole number 3. We don't go through these kind of deep dives just to go, oh, okay, then, yeah, okay, yeah, I feel better now. Great, yep, good. These deep dives change us. They take away what limits us. They open us up more. And it has a knock-on effect throughout our life. And I feel that's why you've got this Death card. But it all starts with this full moon, my friends. It all starts with this forgiveness, this release, and the gratitude. And if you're feeling really blocked on that, pole number 3, it's okay. Spirit's telling me that's where you are now. That's just where you are in your journey. You're not always going to be there. It's not always going to be hard. So in the waning moon, so the week following this full moon, so this is the week of the full moon, and then the following week, I feel as you start to release things, I feel you're probably going to feel a little bit defensive. You're probably going to feel like, because I feel, pole number 3, that you're going to forgive others before you forgive yourself. And that's going to create a little bit of resentment in you, and a little bit of, well, why should I forgive others? You know, they probably haven't forgiven me. People are not showing me that kindness. But it's got nothing to do with others. We don't forgive others for the benefit of others. We forgive others for our own benefit. So we are not carrying that chain with us. And as you move forward, this week after the full moon week, it's going to be a week of seeing how you blame yourself, how you hold yourself accountable. And The week of the new moon, you've got the Hanged Man. And that is you reaching a new understanding. The universe is helping you through this pole number 3. The universe is guiding you to this new perspective. This new way of not only looking at the world and others, but looking at you. You are going to see yourself so differently. And there's a sense that you're going to see yourself more as a whole. Like you're going to see all aspects of yourself. And you're not going to fight it. And you're not going to try and hide from it. It's just going to be there. You're going to see it for what it is. And with the Hanged Man, this change of perspective, this new way of looking at things actually brings wisdom. It actually brings enlightenment. But it does ask you to pause. It does ask you to take your time. It does ask you to slow down. And pole number 3, it's not just you. We are all being asked to slow down. The month of May has a lot of changes in it. Please, if you're interested in the astrology, if you're interested in understanding these energies better, go and watch a astrology YouTube for the month of May, or go read a blog. There's so many of them out there. And because understanding these energies will help us move through it. All of us are being asked to look at ourselves. Warts and all, my friends. And to love those warts just as much as we love the other aspects of ourselves that we deem beautiful. Everything about us is beautiful. It's when we put it in a certain context or take it out of a certain context that it becomes ugly. But our shadows guide us and teach us just as much, if not more, than all our beautiful aspects, all the things we deem beautiful. You're going to see that, pole number 3. And this is the new moon. This is actually quite beautiful, actually, because this understanding comes at the new moon, and at the new moon we're setting our intentions. We're making our new moon wishes. And you're going to do it with clarity, more in alignment as well with who you have become. And then the final week, the waxing week, is the Death card. This is moving forward, my friends, but not as the you that started this journey. It's like the past has been put to rest. And, you know, I just got that RIP, rest in peace. Your past, pole number 3, you are putting it to rest in peace. For the new dawn, for your new journey. There's a sense that all that you've been carrying with you for a long time. For some of you, this will be all your life. For others, this is since your last deep dive, since your last, real release and letting go, where your life changed quite dramatically. But this is moving forward completely new. And for some of you, I always find that when we change and we let go at this level, our outer world changes as well. Not always all of it, sometimes all of it, sometimes just an aspect of it. But I feel you are walking forward, moving forward completely different. Even if that's just the way you see yourself. But I feel that always has a knock-on effect onto others, onto our life, And that's where we see real changes. That's when we actually are able to move forward with much more ease and much more grace. But it is a journey, my friends. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 3. Love, light, blessings, my friends. I'm sending you so much healing energy. I hope that it helps you on your path. Allow, be open. Take good care. Have a wonderful full moon, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, my friends. Take care. Bye. Hello, pole number 4. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you for this full moon. We have 2 oracle cards for additional information. We have the overall energy that starts through the reading, and then the overall energy that this energy permeates to. So we have 2 overall energies, and then we have the 4-week breakdown, because this reading is full moon to full moon, so we break it down over a 4-week period. Beautiful. Gosh, this is lovely readings, my friends. Lovely. Okay, so your overall energy is step out of your comfort zone, North Node, and expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. And I feel we had a new moon eclipse at the end of April, and I feel these energies have been permeating through the end of April. So I feel that this is, you've been feeling this. We have magical happenings, favorable consequences. We have faith in yourself and trust the process. We have the 4 of Pentacles for the week of the full moon. We have the Sun for the week of the waning moon. We have the Wheel of Fortune for the week of the new moon. And we have the 9 of Pentacles for the week of the waxing moon. Wow. So I'm going to start with the overall energy. And you've got step out of your comfort zone, the North Node. And I feel the North Node is our guiding star. It's our journey of this lifetime. And I feel I like how you've got the black obsidian, because this is protection and it repels negative energies. And I feel that this journey is protected. This is, it's almost like you're on this path of what your soul wants to experience in this lifetime. It's like when you know you're on your path, that's thank you, Spirit. When you know you're on your path, that's how you're going to feel. And this is the overall energy that permeates through the whole reading. And it is going to ask you to step out of your comfort zone. So I do feel, pole number 4, there will be times where you feel, oh yes, there's just this sense of, oh, this feels so right. I know I'm on my path because it just feels so right. And then there's other times where you'll feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's because it's your new path. You'll learn as you go along, but keep moving forward. There's no rush though. Go slowly. But I feel the energy that I feel is one of immense joy and overwhelm. And the overwhelm is like, oh my gosh, in the sense that I'm doing this. And this could be a long-held dream for your pole number 4. But then there's also the sense of, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. And I know that you know what I mean, pole number 4. I know that you know what I'm saying. It feels good and scary at the same time. And that's okay. That's okay, my friends. Expect powerful change, the new moon eclipse. Your light, my friends, is bursting out of you. And I feel that sometimes that's going to frighten you a little bit. Allow it. Allow it to burst out of you. You are going to feel drawn to people, places, situations. Allow it. And don't try and hide it. You might just walk past somebody in the street and you just want to just, hello, how are you? And you don't know them, but it's just going to want to burst out of you. And I'm not saying that all of you are going to want to do that, but there's this sense that you're going to be open. You are going to be open and things are going to touch you in such a way that you're going to want to share that. You're going to sing out to people, oh, it's such a beautiful day, have a lovely day. Or whatever that means for you. And it changes your world. It changes you. And I feel like there is a lot of change in your world at the moment, pole number 4. There's a lot of change in you because I feel like you're actually expressing your authenticity. I feel like there's a lot of change about the people that are around you even, and the situations that are around you. I feel there is a lot of change, and it has a powerful effect on you in a really positive way, in a real light-filled way. You've got magical happenings, favourable consequences. Today is luckier than yesterday. And I feel that's how you're going to feel. I feel it's like, oh, today was the best day. And then tomorrow you're going to be like, oh, today was the best day. And then you're going to think, oh, no, actually, yes, today is the best day. And then you're going to think, oh, and then tomorrow. And do you know, pole number 4? It's not that there'll be no problems in the day. It's not that you're not going to have any more challenges. But it's just that you don't get attached to those situations. It's almost like you're like, oh, you know, let's just, to give you an example, if somebody is rude to you, you'll be like, oh, and it'll take you back. And then you'll be like, you'll send them a blessing, because suddenly you'll be like, oh, that poor person must be having a really hard day. You're not taking it personally. You're not taking it on board. It's almost the challenges that come your way are an opportunity for you to send love out into the world, to send blessings out into the world, to send compassion and kindness out into the world. So it's not to say that there's not challenges and that there's nothing, like everything is perfect. It's not, but in the energy that you are in, all those things that happen that in the past may have annoyed you, or you would have taken them personally, you're not taking them personally. Now you're saying, oh, that poor person. not in a derogative way, like not in a like you're feeling superior and there you, not like that at all, but in a real blessing. You know, you don't want to add extra pain to that person's day. You don't want to add extra anguish to that person. So you allow them to be. You don't add anger to their already, if they're angry. You don't add sadness to their sadness. You add a new energy of compassion and love, and therefore that filters through and dilutes their energy. This is such an interesting reading, pole number 4, but there's this lightness about you. There's this understanding. There's this really kind energy around you. And it makes things more magical. Favorable consequences. Because even the things that happen that are not nice, because you're not making it all about you, you're making it all about the other person. So if somebody was to be rude to you, or you know, in our jobs sometimes there are things that happened beyond our control. You don't make it about you. And there's healing that's brought to the situations because of that. Beautiful, beautiful healing. And you have faith in yourself and trust the process. I am right where I'm supposed to be. And you know that. You know that there's this, you're in a really good place, pole number 4. And it's taken work to get there. I feel like the deep dive that everybody's doing now, you've done. You've done. And now you have faith in yourself and you trust the universe, you trust yourself. And when we're in that kind of energy, we don't make everything all about us. We understand that if somebody is angry and they might retaliate, they might be rude to us, it's got nothing to do with us. They're channeling their anger. They're channeling their frustration, and you just happen to be in front of them at that point in time. They're channeling their boredom or their resentment, and that makes them lash out, or that makes them uninterested. So service might be slow, or people might not do their job properly. But instead of making you frustrated and then making you angry, you know it's about them. And therefore, you don't add pain. So, for instance, Spirit's giving me this wonderful example. You've gone and ordered a coffee, and this is just in my image, this is just an example, this is just the image that Spirit is showing me. There's a young girl behind the counter that does not want to be there. Why? That's none of our business. Why she doesn't want to be there is not for us to know. But that makes her not want to be there. So when you come in, good morning, I'll have a skinny cappuccino, please, large. And you're not greeted with a smile. And she just mumbles how much it is. And then she gives you a flat white with sugar in a small. There's something in you that's going to go, oh, she's having a bad day, poor love. Now, that doesn't mean that you take the flat white with sugar in a small, but you don't add anger to her not wanting to be there, to her lethargic, almost, ugh, I don't want to be here, and you're standing in front of me and you're making me work when I don't want to work. So resentment, you're not going to add anger to that, because when you get angry, then you add anger, so then she will switch to anger. So on top of her resentment, her lethargic, her whatever she's feeling, she's now going to feel anger as well. And somehow you know that that wounds her more, so you won't add to that. So you might just say, oh look, you've given me a flat white. I ordered a large cappuccino, a skinny cappuccino. Can you please get me a new one? Now, she's probably going to look at you annoyed because you're making her work again. But you haven't added fuel. You've added a different energy. You've added a lighter energy. So she probably still won't smile at you. But there's a lightness that's come into the day. You haven't made her energy heavier. And it's not that we make other people's energy heavier. We don't. We don't. But if you were to add anger to her already, let's say, frustrated energy or resentful energy, if you add anger, because she's already in that dense energy of resentment, she's likely to be angry back. Now, you don't put anger on her. She has to decide to be angry. But when we're operating on low vibrating energies and somebody throws another low vibrating energy, we're likely to stay in the low vibrating energy. Whereas if you throw her compassion and kindness and maybe a little like, oh, tough morning, I did ask for a skinny cappuccino. Can you please make me a new, can you please, can I please have the correct order, or however you put it. The words don't matter. Spirit's just trying to give you an example. You're adding a lighter energy. She can still respond with the low energies, but you've given her an out to respond with light energies. Whereas if she's in low energies, you give her low energy, she doesn't really have an out for high energy. It takes somebody quite wise, quite already elevated to take two bad energies and make something good out of it. And that's how you're going to be responding to people, pole number 4. That's the energies that surround you. Now, that's just an example. I'm not saying that that's going to happen to all of you. Take it as it is. You know, it could be your kids. Suddenly, they're still doing what they did, but you're not so frustrated. You can see their frustration. And it doesn't mean that you give in to everything or accept bad behavior or anything, but you don't add fuel to the fire. You dissipate it. And it's going to come naturally. You're just not even going to be aware that you do it. You're going to have this ability to pick your battles. You're going to have this, some of you might go, oh, do you know what? Haven't had a flat white with sugar in ages. I'm going to take that. I actually like that. And so you might not say anything. But it's not going to be something, you will change it because it's not going to be anything that you would walk away from feeling resentful. So So if you accepted whatever they gave you, if you accepted or changed your mind on something, it wouldn't create resentment in you. But you would stick to your guns if you saw that, no, this needs to be corrected. But you do it in such a way that is compassionate and kind. There's this gentleness about you, pole number 4, that's really, really interesting. And the week of the full moon, you've got this 4 of Pentacles. And I feel that this is why. You've been on hold, pole number 4. That's the best way I can put it. It's almost like there's a city behind him. There's all this life that's been going on around you. Almost like you've been seeing people get promotions, you've been seeing people move away, you've been seeing people get on with their life. Everybody seems to have been moving and grooving, and you have been stuck. Or you've been limited in some way. You've been doing the deep dive that so many of us are now called to do. And I feel, pole number 4, this has been a process of around 4 years. It's been a long time, pole number 4, because the level that I'm feeling that you are at is very high vibrational. And I feel that at this full moon, I feel like the holding energy, and not just that the universe has put you in, that you have also put yourself in, is coming to an end. Situations are closing off. Things have shifted or are shifting this week of the full moon. There's this sense that this light energy that I feel buoyant. I almost feel giddy. I feel effervescent. No, that sounds a little bit silly, but I feel buzzy. I'm probably talking really loud, actually. And when I get excited, I talk really loud. I get really, really buzzy. And it's almost like suddenly the door's been thrown open wide and you've got opportunities and possibilities, and there's this excitement, and you're just like, there's this giddiness and this excitement and this, but it's coupled with this kindness, this love for yourself and for others, love for yourself of what you have been through, and that carries through to others. This pole number 4 has been hard. It has not been easy. And it's almost like now when you see others struggling, it reminds you of what you've been through, and you cannot be horrible to them. You cannot reflect back to them how they are, because you know firsthand, and it's still so fresh that you haven't forgotten. The energy hasn't dissipated so much that you can forget how painful this is. And so there is this level of kindness and compassion in you that spills out onto everything, because you want to almost give the kindness to others that maybe you didn't experience yourself. Or maybe there were instances when people just showed you incredible kindness, and you hold on to that and you go, I want to be that person. That I don't know what these people are going through, but that just gives them that smile, or just that moment of kindness. And look at the rest of your cards. Oh my goodness, pole number 4. In the second week, so the week after the full moon, in the waning moon, You have the Sun. And this is you literally bursting forward. And this is you, here I am. And for some of you, I feel this is going into a profession where you're being seen. And that could be in any way, but it's stepping up and saying, here I am, being heard, being seen. Maybe you're guiding others in what you've learned. Maybe you're just willing, like I spoke about at the very, very beginning of the reading, about your light just bursting forward and allowing yourself to say what bubbles out of you, to see somebody and sing out a joyous good morning. It's that kind of energy. It's it's immense joy. Pole number 4. It's immense joy, happiness, the sense that you are living again, the sense of freedom. The sense of freedom in your reading is incredible, pole number 4. Incredible. And I feel it's been such a long time coming, my friends, and I'm so, so happy for you. And this is why those moments of deep self-healing, allowing ourselves to work through what we need to work through, it doesn't last forever. But it brings such glorious change. It brings I'm just being called to say, it brings what we never could have expected. This Wheel of Fortune it just brings you fortune. Whatever that means to you, pole number 4. And I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about feeling vibrant, feeling alive, feeling free, feeling full of possibilities. Look at these 2 cards together. And this Wheel of Fortune comes at the new moon. When you're making your new moon wishes and setting your intentions, this Wheel of Fortune opens you up like the sun does. What do you want for yourself now? You'll dream bigger than you ever have. You'll dream differently than you ever have. Your goals are going to change. And I feel that others will benefit from this. This is glorious energy, pole number 4. This is energy that changes the world as we know it. Because it's such high vibrating energy that it lifts those that are around you. It has a knock-on effect, my friends. And I believe that the universe is going to show you that. And in the last week, the waxing moon, the week of the waxing moon, you've got the 9 of Pentacles, and this is achievement. And this is you achieving your goals, even if you're at the beginning planning stage. And I feel that that's where most of you will be. You can see where it's going. You can see the potential, and you can see the potential in yourself, what you have to give to the world. With the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 9 of Pentacles, I feel like everybody benefits from, I'm going to say, from your awakening, from your rebirth, from you coming into alignment. And the Nine of Pentacles is, for me, it also denotes freedom, because it's a card of independence. So pole number 4, my beautiful friends, you get to do this your way. And when I mean your way, I mean authentically, where you don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You don't have to change aspects of yourself. You don't have to calm yourself down or rev yourself up. You don't have to be anything else but who you are, completely. It doesn't matter if you're loud or quiet, introvert, extrovert, female, male, whatever in between. None of that matters. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't even matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you start working for yourself or you work for somebody else. It doesn't matter if you make a lot of money or a little bit of money. It doesn't matter if you live remotely or in the middle of a city. None of that matters, because you are in a place of being purely you. And that is what attracts people to you. That is what attracts situations to you. That is what this opened door is bringing you. And it brings you change. Expect powerful change. Your world is changing. Your people in your life, jobs, and I know this is just a general reading, but I feel for the majority of you, this is over a very broad area of your life. So for some of you, it can be just you changing, or just a job changing, or just where you live changing. But I feel for the majority of you, it's life changing. So it's over more than one area of your life. And for some of you, it is completely and utterly. I love this reading for you, my friends. I think it's what you've been wanting to hear. I think it's what you've been waiting to hear. Have a wonderful new moon. Have a wonderful full moon. I think you're going to have a wonderful new moon as well, but this is the full moon reading. So have a wonderful full moon. Take good care of yourselves. Sending you so much love, light, and blessings. See you next time, my friends. Bye-bye.